just found a fantastic little cottage in Devon. I'm going to have a go at redesigning. I've just printed out the agent's details, so we're going to have a look at them. So let's have a look at the agent's details. Fantastic setting, this green bank with trees and a little cottage set into the hill. Great views across the landscape. The inside, there's some funny little details, but almost don't really care about the inside. That can all be fixed, as can the outside, but you can't buy this location. Well, you can buy this house, but it's the location that's the thing. Pasture land, which is the garden that runs from the cottage to the south. You can see here, and then the floor plans. The problem with all these cottages is the same. There's a bunch of little rooms. There's a rubbish bathrooms usually, so we've got a shower room and a utility room and a toilet, no upstairs bathroom, and then just a range of little rooms that can all be rationalised into something whilst keeping the cottage feel. Upstairs, these all have the same problem, a stair that goes up and then goes into another room. You have to get through other rooms. I like to fix that. And then just looking at the plot, the garden all the way down to the south here, so the cottage sits at the north. Fantastic views across the Devon countryside. So let's have a look at street view before we get on with the design work. This is the view from the road outside the house looking east across the fields. And then the house higher up than the road, two outbuildings. And then from the north as we approach, this is the back of the cottage. And we can see how cut into the slope it is, which is, you know, nicely protected by these trees with that great view to the south. On the ground floor, let's start with a thick pen. As we sort of saw on the plans, this stair is sort of a problem in the sense of how it works upstairs. Less of a problem downstairs. That's kind of typical. I grew up in a cottage with a stair off a sort of entrance hall, living room type space with a door, so it's kind of normal. We've got this space here, potentially this space here, and my goal here is to try and keep the kind of cottage, enhance the cottageness of the cottage rather than turning it into something it isn't. In terms of extensions, you've got that kind of big hill on the back here, which means that actually going any further this way it's going to be difficult and expensive, need some new sort of retaining walls in here. So I think to gain extra space, there's potential here and here. And what immediately comes to mind is if you came in off the lane and there was a sort of an entrance door and you were able to maybe enter at this end. Now, just think about the upstairs first and work backwards. What would be great is to get all the bedrooms facing south. So let's just think about that for now. So that they've all got south facing windows, and it feels like maybe there's a great view that way across the hill to the east as well for an end bedroom. And we want to try and get the stair out of the space. Now the rooms are quite small, and ideally we'd want to get an upstairs bathroom up here, get a shower room in there. So it could do that. And what I'm thinking is that there's, on the north, the boundary is about 2 meters away by the looks of things. So could we run a new stair up the back to here? So build a new enclosure for the stair. And then you'd arrive here, you'd have a bedroom, bathroom. So then going back downstairs, we put the stair just here, and we put a sort of a corridor, because I'm thinking about that gable wall perhaps needs some rebuilding. If we put a wall along here and put some, then we go to get rid of the porch. The entrance, I'm thinking, is here. So this becomes a utility room. This could become a study, an office for me. Let me have some views out this way and this way. Oh, I can sit here and get distracted by looking out. And then the front door is here, so you'd have a door into here, and then we'd have some steps that would wind up here up onto the sort of existing ground level. You could then go along here and have a staircase going up, and that would give you a nice big sort of living room, have a central fireplace here, And then this here could be a glass screen, sort of a crystal door kind of screen with a heavy curtain that you can close off in the winter or at night. But otherwise you'd have a glass screen here and look over the top of this and see those views from the living room. So as you sit here, fire, TV over the fire, and then you've got French doors onto a nice terrace here, and then door into your utility room there. Toilet, and then have a nice dining table there. Have a range here because there is a chimney on the end of the house, so we could get the range in there. Put the sink there, window, get a view out. Then you've got a nice route sort of through. So you come in the front door here. You can go into your study, studio, gym, could be lots of things. A laundry room in here. We've got another larder, utility room, pantry type of setup there. Little toilet there, you could probably fit a shower in there somehow. So you come in there, then you go up the stairs, you'd have a great view across here, maybe you'd have a window on this corner as well into here, and then you can walk through, you get the view out to the terrace, view of the fire, through into the kitchen, and the kitchen gets that view out onto the terrace. And I think you want some doors in there as well, got access onto another sort of table and chairs and some lounges here. And then this would have some sort of pitch roof on it. I think you could stand here, I'll work the levels out in the 3D model, look over the top of this across the landscape, which when you look at the photo of the existing, that's currently how it is. That could work quite well. Then you could have some cloak cupboard in here as well, so it becomes a sort of double use space. Then upstairs we've now got about 1 to 1.2 meters. We have on this length an additional 1.2 meters, which means we could build a new wall in here, shoring up the end of the house. We've got a stair that comes 3-4 meters to here, and a bit of a landing. Maybe have a window at the bottom or top of the stairs so you can see out. So that stair is coming up to about here. Wall in here. And the extra width means that we can keep that wall where it is. We can do another 2.7 meter bedrooms, have 2 bedrooms, maybe make that one a little wider because it's not as deep. Make that one 3. You could then have a proper bathroom, 1.9, and still get a 3.6 meter. And then windows here and here. And I think it would be worth adding in some sort of veranda, maybe a glass roof veranda through here over the French doors. Just gives you some usable space, so maybe that sort of runs through here, and there's a couple of posts there to support it, and then that's a glass roof that maybe goes over the top of the stair. Existing sort of cottage is something like this. The remodel is to extend that roof to here. You want to try and keep the chimneys. I'll draw those in a minute. So that end wall moves to here and sits on there. And then I think you build there's an entrance sort of door here. Keep this as it is. Maybe that has a sort of a pitch roof on it running through here. And then the veranda would sort of sit in here. And so here we have the final model. can see how I've taken a lot of the original ideas and the sketches through to the model. So this new built gable end with new windows in the end, the new entrance area here, I think could improve the entrance porch here a little bit if we develop the design further. Some steps up to the terrace and the entrance running through here. As you move around, you see this glazed view going through into the lounge and the stairs going up in this new rear wing. So as we walk into the entrance, come in through the entrance hall. On the left is the office with a great view straight out on both south and west. A view in the entrance up onto the terrace, and as you go up you get that great view out to the landscape to the east, and then turn through the glass screen into the living room. It's got a nice central fireplace through a hub of the home and through into the kitchen. Where's the range? And then a peninsula that protects the kitchen, gives you that view out down through the dining room, through the French doors and down into the garden. And then there's a clear view set up through that window into the entrance porch. Moving out into a good sized terrace with enough room for tables and lounges. And you can see here the sort of pergola veranda across the south side of the house. A little bit of protection from the sun, a little bit of protection from the rain. Nice sort of gathering place outside of the doors, and through into the living room where you can see out through the view. And then on winter's days you close the curtains, close the door, you get a nice snug room to keep that fireplace burning. And then we're going to go upstairs, so go out onto the landing past the low down bookshelves and a view out of the corner at the bottom of the stairs. And as we climb up the stairs, there's a window at the top of the stairs, little cottage window, just give a little bit of a view out there, and the bedroom doors and bathroom doors, and then through into the master bedroom with those two new windows in the new gable wall looking east for the morning sun, and then also an additional window out south looking down the garden